Angels appearing in the Bible, Gabriel and other angels. 1. Gabriel is one of the two angels whose names are explicitly mentioned in the Bible, appearing as a messenger who delivers God's important messages. The name Gabriel means man of God or God's strength in Hebrew, and his role focuses on informing people of God's plans. In the Bible, Gabriel appears 2 times in the Old Testament, 2 times in the New Testament, total 4 times. Below are all of Gabriel's appearances and roles. Old Testament Daniel. Around BC 550, captivity content. When Daniel sees the ram and goat vision, Daniel 8 January 14, and is confused. God commands Gabriel, make this man understand the vision. Gabriel explains to Daniel the meaning of the vision, the future of the Medo-Persian and Greek empires. Role vision interpreter, delivering God's prophetic plan to Daniel. Context: Babylonian captivity. The time when Daniel receives God's revelation in captivity. Daniel around BC 538. Captivity content. When Daniel prays for Israel's restoration, Gabriel flies and appears to Daniel, delivering the 70 weeks. Prophecy: the coming of the Messiah and the time of judgment. Role: prophecy deliverer, revealing God's salvation plan, the advent of the Messiah. Context: late Babylonian captivity, the point when Daniel pleads for Jerusalem's restoration. New Testament Luke. Around BC 50 for content. Gabriel appears to the priest Zechariah in the temple, informing him that his wife Elizabeth will bear John the Baptist. When Zechariah doubts, Gabriel says, I am Gabriel, who stands in the presence of God, revealing his authority and making Zechariah mute. Role: foretelling the birth of John the Baptist, who will prepare the way for the Messiah. Context: early New Testament, preparation stage, just before the Messiah's coming. Luke around BC 50 for content. Gabriel appears to Mary in Nazareth, informing her that she will conceive by the Holy Spirit and bear Jesus the Messiah. When Mary obeys, Gabriel departs. Role: God's messenger announcing the birth of the Messiah Jesus. Context: early New Testament, the moment officially announcing Jesus' coming. Gabriel summary. Appearance count. Total 4 times, Daniel 2 times, Luke 2 times. Main role: delivering God's prophecies and salvation plans, especially Messiah related to people Daniel, Zechariah, Mary. Characteristics: authoritative messenger, standing before God to carry out commands directly. Dramatic appearances and clear message delivery are characteristic. Timeline: captivity and early New Testament BC 54, active over about 500 years. 2. Michael is the other angel whose name is explicitly mentioned in the Bible, depicted as the great prince or leader of God's army. The name means who is like God in Hebrew, and he mainly appears in combative protective roles. Michael appears 2 times in the Old Testament, 2 times in the New Testament, total 4 times. Old Testament Daniel around BC 536. Captivity content: when Daniel prays and seeks a vision, an angel presumed to be Gabriel, with Michael's help, breaks through the opposition of the Prince of Persia to deliver the message to Daniel. Michael is called your great Prince Michael and protects Israel. Role: guardian angel of Israel, fighting in spiritual warfare. Context: end of Babylonian captivity, time when Daniel receives God's revelation. Daniel around BC 536. Captivity content: Michael as the great commander is prophesied to rise up in the last days to save Israel. Role: protecting the people of Israel at the final judgment. Context: Daniel's end times prophecy. New Testament Jude, AD 60-70 content. Michael disputes with the devil over Moses' body, saying, "The Lord rebuke you." Role: executing God's judgment and opposing the devil. Context: New Testament record mentioning Moses' death around BC 1406. Revelation, AD 90 content. Michael with his angels fights the dragon Satan and casts him out of heaven. Role: leader of God's army. Victory in spiritual war against Satan. Context: Revelation's end times war. Michael summary. Appearance count: total 4 times. Daniel 2 times, Jude 1 time, Revelation 1 time. Main role: guardian of Israel, leader in spiritual warfare, opposing Satan and protecting God's people. Characteristics: combative leader. Title of great prince emphasized. Timeline: captivity BC 536 and New Testament AD 60, 90, including end times context. 3. Unnamed angels in the Bible. Besides Gabriel and Michael, unnamed angels frequently appear. They act as God's messengers, protectors, executors of judgment in specific events. Major examples organized chronologically. Genesis early, undated content. When Adam and Eve are expelled from the Garden of Eden, cherubim angels guard the entrance to the garden and protect the tree of life. Role: executing God's judgment and protecting sacred space. Context: immediately after the fall. Genesis around BC 1900 content. 2 angels visit Lot, warn of the destruction of Sodom and Gomorrah, and rescue Lot's family. Rule: for warning judgment and saving the righteous. Context: Abraham's era. Genesis around BC 1850 content. Jacob sees angels ascending and descending in a ladder vision, in a dream at Bethel. Rule: connectors between God and humans. Context: Jacob's patriarchal period. Exodus around BC 1446 content. God promises to send my angel to lead Israel to Canaan. Rule: guide and protector. Context: Exodus period. Judges around BC 1100 content. The angel of the Lord appears to Samson's parents, Manoah couple, foretelling Samson's birth. Role: delivering God's prophecy. Context: Judges era. Kings around BC 701 content. After Hezekiah's prayer, the angel of the Lord kills 185,000 in the Assyrian army. Role: executing God's judgment. Context: Hezekiah's reign. At Jesus' resurrection, an angel opens the tomb door and informs the women of the resurrection. Role: delivering resurrection news. Context: Jesus' resurrection. Acts around AD 40 for content. An angel rescues imprisoned Peter and sets him free. Role: protection and salvation. Context: early church persecution period. Revelation AD 90 content. Numerous angels participate in end times judgment. Revelation delivery. Proclaiming God's glory. Role: judgment execution. Revelation delivery. Praising God. Context: Revelation's end times vision. 4. Other major information related to angels. Angel types: cherubim, guard God's glory in Eden and the tabernacle. Exodus, appear in plural, described with wings and multiple faces. Ezekiel 10. Seraphim in Isaiah, serve God's throne and praise holy, have 6 wings. Angel of the Lord frequently appears in the Old Testament, sometimes considered God's manifestation, e.g., Abraham and Isaac. Possibility of a specific angel. Unnamed angels, numerous appear. Various roles in message: delivery, protection, judgment execution. Characteristics of angels. Angels are God's created beings, spiritual entities. Unlike humans, no physical body, but can appear in human form, carry out God's commands, have free will. But fallen angels, Satan, and demons also exist. Gabriel and Michael are the only angels with specified names, given special authority and roles. Other angels in the Bible. No angels with specified names besides Gabriel and Michael. Apocrypha, e.g., Raphael and Tobit, or later traditions mention other angel names, but not included in canonical Bible. In Revelation, numerous angels appear, but names are not recorded.